There are so many Nintendo leaks to talk about. It is absolutely absurd. This is going to blow your mind over and over again. It's called the Nintendo Gigaleak. There are two of them, Nintendo Gigaleak 1 and 2, and these are connected to the Broad-On leaks back from May. Broad-On is a company that worked with Nintendo to build a series of chips for a lot of their different hardware, but one in particular, the iQ, that was supposed to be a Chinese piece of hardware that would have a number of different large Nintendo games available on it. So this is kind of the beginning of the saga, but it's not ending, and it's not going to end for a long time. This is kind of just the tip of the iceberg, these leaks that I'm talking about now that happened over the weekend. So let's get into it and see what it is that these Giga leaks have included. Now, we're not going to be able to cover everything because there's just so much, and a lot of it hasn't been totally revealed yet, but I'm going to give you a tertiary explanation as to what it is that we're looking at. So Nintendo Gigaleak numero uno. What happened? The Game Boy Advanced source code was leaked. The Game Boy Color boot ROM was leaked. A variety of Famicom ROMs, like so many different ROMs from Famicom games, were leaked. I mean, here's an entire list for you on nerdnews.gg if you want to see it. A source code to Star Fox 1 and 2, Link's Awakening DS, Mario Kart, F-Zero, Yoshi's Island. All of these are full source codes available now. So Gigaleak number 1 had a bunch of older games, source code for Game Boy Advanced. On Friday, July 24th, a ton of different things leaked. That was Nintendo Gigaleak numero uno. Full development repository for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I mean, just so many things. But then, a few days later, Nintendo Gigaleak numero dos occurs. What came out during Nintendo Leak numero dos? The N64 source code. Yeah, I know. Now, in a lot of cases for these emulators, the source codes, while they do help, at least the older consoles, a lot of them have kind of already been perfected in terms of how their emulators are working. But for the N64, I'm not entirely sure. I know that for the Game Boy Advanced, I believe that that's not really going to do much. But it's still cool. It's still cool that it's out there for us. I mean, Nintendo, I'm sure, is pissed off. N64 ROMs, a bunch of different N64 ROMs, including Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, etc., etc., etc. We've got Mario 64, Star Fox 1 and 2, Yoshi's Island, blah, blah, blah. Some of these are repeated. Some of these articles, here's the problem with any of the news about this Nintendo Gigaleak. If I'm referring to any of the larger outlets, there's been so much that's come out that it's really hard to keep track of. Like, there's been some word about this beta model of Luigi being made available in Mario 64, right? You can play as Luigi in Super Mario 64. You might have heard that as clickbait recently. I was talking about it on Twitter. Well, as it turns out, that model wasn't ever really actually tied to or usable in Super Mario 64. It was there, but it wasn't actually ever usable. So it wasn't really fully programmed into the game. I don't know like the semantics or the technical components of how this all works, but as I understand it, it wasn't ever actually going to be used. So the people saying that, hey, Luigi was in Super Mario 64, or you're seeing video of that, those are just people that are very, very good at editing video and animating and character modeling. And they're putting Luigi in there. They're also using the PC version of Super Mario 64 to mod it to put Luigi in there. So an actual Luigi in Super Mario 64 on the N64, that wouldn't have ever been the case. So some of the news is a little bit inconsistent. Other really interesting leaks that you might be interested in as a part of these Nintendo Gigaleaks. Here you go. Nintendo 60 ROMs for the iQ. So all of these N64 ROMs that you're hearing about leaking, a lot of them are incomplete versions available for the iQ console, and they would not work on the N64. They're a totally different version of the software. The only one that's not is apparently Dr. Mario, which I don't know about you, but I don't want to play that game. Pokemon MMO was going to be made available for the Game Boy Advanced. Apparently would have been restricted to China, and it would have been Leaf Green and Fire Red. It was being developed around 2005, and you would have connected your Game Boy Advanced console to your computer, to your PC, so that you could play the Pokemon MMO and play with other people. There would have been about 30 Pokemon available, and then from there, the available Pokemon would expand depending on your region and what friends you're playing with. Yeah, I know, kind of like, sounds a little bit like Pokemon Go, doesn't it? There were also, as we discussed, a lot of unused assets and prototypes, all kinds of interesting things. Also, personal information, personal stories, and information about addresses and phone numbers and that kind of stuff is available. I do not condone participating in the personal information part of any of this, or really any of it, because this is all private content. This is all privately owned by Nintendo. So I condemn the leaks. because it's illegal, but it's important that I report on this and tell you guys what's going on, and give you a sense for what these Nintendo Gigaleaks mean. I mean, just even in looking through some of these documents, it's been interesting to see that some of the stuff has already been pulled down. Nintendo is getting on this very quick. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Blah! It's like throwing up words. See you guys.